Ladies, gentlemen, bodies of water, welcome to the Alchemy Lab. My name is Lee, and today I will be playing Beep, Name Not Found.
My name is Carl, and I'm still Graccus.
And my name is Matt, and I'm the DM of the Shattered Lands Streets of Mihre. Welcome back. Welcome back to a split party.
Some shit went down.
Some, yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, last time. Let's get right into that recap. Last time, you guys ran into the mafia kind of ran into you.
Yeah,
made you an offer you couldn't refuse, and naturally Graccus refused it.
Damn straight.
Cassius, on the other hand, did not, and has left. So they basically asked you to work for them / with them.
They did.
And
Mostly for them.
Made it clear they weren't really willing to take no for an answer, and Cassius has left with them of his own accord. Graccus, you did not. So the party is split. So that's going to be an interesting arc to go on. We begin the organized crime arc of the Shattered Lands Streets of Mihre. Are you ready, gentlemen?
We are indeed. I've been calling this the War Assets arc. I've been calling this the Mass Effect 3 arc. Don't worry, the ending will be better.
Yeah.
That's up to Matt. It's not up to us, it's up to Matt.
Yeah. So yes, it will be better.
Choose the blue ending. The blue ending's the good one.
Cool.
Anyway, we begin 1 week after the conclusion of case number 8, the Quartermaster. And we begin in our favourite bar, the Devilish Archive. But it is not the Devilish Archive as we knew it. Currently, the place is closed, is boarded up, and it is almost entirely desolate and deserted and quiet, save for the lone figure in the middle of the room, next to the bar, watching every window and every shadow. This is Graccus Fairbreaker. Graccus, what's a guan?
Not a lot.
How to say that?
I never do. I have no idea. Not a lot. Finishing probably the last dregs of the glass of rye that he had. Contemplating what's happening next.
Where is everyone?
So Rembrandt is back in 7 in the library because a bit less well known. I'm sure the Delanos probably still know about it, but I have more faith in him being protected down on 7, where I know Charon and his boys are.
Yeah, there's more protection.
If the Delanos are going to try something, that will incur Charon's wrath, at least, so that might give them pause to try and start an attack.
Mm-hmm.
Brock and his family are close by. We are working on creating a space for him downstairs in the basement, but we decided against doing it now. The Delanos are probably still watching this place, still watching Graccus, so the idea of making it obvious that he's building essentially an armory felt a bit provocative.
That's not to say he's been doing nothing. So Brock has effectively tricked out. He's kind of Home Alone trapped the Devilish Archive.
Love that.
Yep.
If someone or several gangsters try to bust in, they're gonna catch paint cans to the groin and
Flamethrowers to the head.
Flamethrowers to the head. They're going to put their feet in nails, and probably a lot
corrosive.
Probably a lot of also hidden weaponry stashed around.
Essentially, everything you can put a weapon under has either a gun or a short weapon under it.
Also,
if I'm going down with as much firepower as physically possible to carry.
So just as a side note, ladies and gentlemen, bodies of water, These guys were talking about this last week because we had our break last week. At the end of every case, we have a little break, but we always check in. I felt very ill last week, so I know nothing about what's going on at the moment. So I'm following along with you, and I'm eagerly excited about this.
Mm.
I would say the main thing I'm doing though is currently waiting for a response from Charon.
Indeed, because Nock also went down to tier 7 with an explicit message for Charon. What was the message?
I need to talk. Cass is gone, and I'm about to go to war.
Right.
Succinct.
A man of few words.
Mm-hmm. So, Graccus, make me a perception check, please.
That is a 24.
Through one of the windows, you see a silhouette peering in. This silhouette is kind of lithe and sort of thin. It seems a little bit familiar as well. As the person leans in, you catch sort of the outline facial features of Inspector Swift.
I head over to the front main door and carefully ensure that I don't trip any traps that are on it, and unlock it and lean out to Swift.
Mr. Fairbreaker.
To Swift.
May I come in?
Sure. You weren't followed or anything, were you?
I don't think I was.
Fair enough. I'll give you the details once you're inside, and I sort of step out of the way of the door and let him through.
He walks in.
And again, I shut the door, lock it, and reaffirm the traps that are attached.
Mm-hmm. So with that 24, you see that he is a little bit agitated. He's not trying to show his agitation, but he is a bit agitated. You wouldn't happen to have any strong liquor in here, would you?
I think I can take you up on that. I head behind the bar and I grab out a bottle of rye that I've been working my way through every day and just pour 2 glasses and slide one across to him.
Thank you.
What's got you spooked then?
Spooked. Spooked? I'm not sure what you mean by spooked.
Swift, we may not have known each other for very long, but I can tell when a man's on edge.
Well, I suppose I'm a little on edge. I thought I would... Look, you've been helpful, as has Mr. Valentine, although where he is, I'm not entirely sure. He doesn't seem to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Something curious was dropped on my desk last night, and with the business with Balthazar John and the business with Melora Knightley, and with Mr. Ironide down at the docks, who a lot of people are pretty friendly with and pretty reliant on. There's been, I just thought it's best to talk to you before anything rash occurs.
What was delivered, Swift?
It was a dossier. A dossier on you. It was dropped.
And I'm sure it lists everything I've done while working for the Delano family.
Indeed, it does. It was dropped by official police in Tier 5.
Yeah, of course it was.
This is why I've come to you. I suspected Well, I suspected that this was judging by your, well, how you are now. This doesn't seem like you. And
It was.
I
In
see.
truth, it was. But I left that life a long time ago.
That much is clear to me. But you have upset some very curious people.
I upset people by being alive, Swift. I left the Delano employ without permission. They're not too keen on that. And they punished Brock Ironhide for it. They took fingers because they couldn't get to me. Cass is with them. They came here a week ago and made an offer we couldn't refuse. They threatened Rembrandt's life to try and make us accept. I don't know what game Cass is playing. I'm sure he has his own agenda. He often doesn't like to tell me his personal story, and I don't care anymore. Whatever he wants to do is for him.
Well, I can tell you that there have been no change in Delano operations, at least that we've been seeing. You've provided some information on that. Melora Knightley hasn't been particularly forthcoming. I suspect she's terrified.
Don't blame her. How much do you know about the family?
Bits and pieces. They are fairly notorious down here. They operate down here with impunity, as well as in Tier 5.
Yeah, well, I intend to change that.
And I assume you want me to look the other way.
I'd appreciate the help if you're willing to offer it.
I'm not sure how much I could offer. I know they're bad people, but
what if I happen to look into some of the operation sites for the Delano, let's say the Hayes trade, for example, or other illicit activities? If I was to pass them along to you, would you be willing to act? Get a group of men that you trust within your department, and you hit the sites. Everything you're doing is above board, but it will be helping me. It'll be helping protect Tier 6 as well, Swift, and that's what I think in the end both of us want. Maybe for different reasons, but the end goal is the same.
Certainly something to consider. I trust a few of the men. I have a list in my head.
Make it known to them that if they do help you, they are putting themselves and potentially their family at risk. The Delanos are not a forgiving kind, especially the bitch earlier. Omar is a businessman. He'll happily make a deal if he can, but she likes to cause pain.
Well, let's hope that the information comes good, I suppose. There is a very loud set of knocks at the door. Very loud.
I instinctively put my hand under the bar and grab out one of the pistols that Brock hid under it and just pull back the hammer as a precaution.
Swift wheels around as well.
Reach over. Underneath those two bullets in front of you, there's another pistol. I suggest you hold on to it just to be safe.
All right.
I walk over to the door. I stand sort of next to the lock, but not in front of the door, almost with my back against the wall. Who's there?
Lee, who's there?
Fantastic. My name is Calthor.
Who sent you?
Fuck knows, I don't know. Who's...
From behind you, Graccus, you hear, "Good evening, Mr. Fairbreaker." You turn
It's Ender.
to see Ender behind the bar. He's pouring himself a tall glass of red wine.
I'd push the hammer forward, put the gun down on the bar next to me, and I'm assuming a friend of yours then?
Indeed.
I remove traps, unlock the door, and sort of signal for him to come in.
What does he see?
So when you open that door, signaling for me to come in seems like a bit of an issue. So how big is Graccus?
6'5".
So the door frame is like you've got to duck under it, right?
Not quite, but not far off.
You've got that of metal, just like dirty bronze in front of you.
So I actually poke my head out to look up at the rest of them.
And I look down.
Oh,
there's
do you have a tradesman's entrance?
Yeah. Alley around the side of the building. There's a tradesman's entrance. It's full height. I'll unlock it for you now. I shut the door, lock it, and head round and unlock the tradesman's entrance for him.
All right. Swift goes with you. I think probably be better if I leave you to deal with these guys.
Yeah, one of them's an old friend, and the other one, I'll send a message if I have anything you can work with, Swift.
Large, yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
As you open the tradesman's entrance, which is big enough, just about to fit you, Calthor. Swift kind of ducks out, and he's
Calthor gets out of the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Takes off up the street.
Well, please do come in.
Thank you.
As he walks in, I again shut door, lock it, as I've been doing. And sort of start walking back into the main bar. If it was anybody else, Ender would ask how you got in, but I feel like it's not worth the question with you.
Not at all. I see you took the better whiskies with you.
Yeah, well, since we're helping Rembrandt pay for this place, I figured it was a trade-off worth our time. Please help yourself to anything you want, and to your friend as well.
Oh, I think so. Calthor, what's your poison?
No poison for me.
Oh. What about light poison? Alcohol?
No poison.
Fair enough.
Well, he's a little straight-laced for my taste, but you know.
Yeah, certainly is imposing.
Well, new recruit. So, I can't help but notice you're a one-man band at the moment. What happened to Mr. Valentine?
Went off with the Delanos. Don't know why. But I think you and I both know that he has his own games to play.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Well, Charon seems to be very interested in seeing you.
I'm guessing we're heading down there then.
Not quite yet. Well, we will be, but tomorrow.
Fair enough.
He apologizes for not coming himself. I'm quieter than him. I travel a lot easier.
Given the circumstances, I appreciate that.
Calthor is less quiet.
Given the circumstances of that, I also appreciate that as well. How much has Charon told you?
Oh, dribs and drabs. He told me something about a war, which was rather fascinating.
Delano Family. I'm assuming you've heard of them.
I know them well.
Yeah, well, I used to work for them.
Indeed.
I was an enforcer.
You see, and give a little glance to Calthor when you say that.
I'm guessing he did too.
Oh, well, I don't think so. Did you, Calpha?
Calthor totally wasn't listening. Calthor is just looking just out the window. He's just in. I'm sorry, and what?
You didn't work for the Delano family, did you?
No.
Hmm.
I worked for a higher power.
Hmm. You see, you and he, you both, well, you both left a person that you weren't particularly...
Fairbreaker. Fair enough. If I might, Calthor, what caused you to leave your path?
We'll get to that.
Fair enough.
I think you'll get on. You're both chaps of few words.
Yeah. As long as he's a man of action, I don't mind.
Oh, yes.
Good.
Oh, yes, oh, yes. So, he hasn't exactly told me much, Mr. Charon. However, he definitely wants to, well, he wants to speak to you directly. And for some reason, he's not keen on traveling at the moment. We'll be ballooning down tomorrow because of this. And he hands you a scroll that's sealed with wax.
Okay. Do I recognize the seal?
It's just like a pair of horns.
Okay.
Grey wax.
Cool. I crack the wax seal and open the scroll and start reading it. I'm assuming it's a letter of some description.
So the note is addressed to the quartermaster.
Huh.
And it is a requisition form. The requisitions are 1 vial of social elixir and 1 pair of spectacles.
Okay. I'm assuming this is to be passed on to Bruck then.
Yes, they are. He'll know what to do with them.
Sure. I'll get it to him when I next see him. I think he's due to come by later on today.
Indeed.
Well, we have time to kill, Charon. Charon and
It's been a while. I'll let you off.
It's been a stressful week. I do apologize, Enda.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Come, let's have a seat.
You might want to avoid, and I start pointing out a couple chairs and tables not to sit at.
Oh, because of the traps.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll do fine, but still, just I don't want to have Brock re-engage them just for the sake of taking a seat.
Well, I like my tail. I don't want to lose it.
Fair point.
I'm going to be straight with you, Graccus. He's not told me a whole lot, but I'm guessing you wouldn't have sent us the message you did if you didn't want support.
What was the idea?
You know that he's going to want something in return.
Well aware of that. But I'd rather owe Charon than owe the Delanos.
Well, that certainly makes sense to me.
Any idea what the favor might be this time?
That he has not told me at all.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am bloody exhausted from a long night of hunting. So, I would not mind a bed.
No problem. There's one up the stairs and to the left.
No doubt your policeman friend and, well, Mr. Calthor have attracted the attention of some of your unreputable adversaries.
I would assume so.
Perhaps a watch should be set.
I'm used to doing that. I'll take first.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sleep. Graccus. You get some rest.
You sure?
I'm not.
Ender, I don't mean to be rude, but given the circumstances, you're vouching for him, yes?
Of course.
Fair enough. I thank you for the gesture then, Calthor. It's been a long time since I've had a decent night's sleep.
I don't need it anymore.
And I can't tell if that's a blessing or a curse.
So it has been a heck of a long time since you've slept, Graccus. So you hit the hay and fall asleep pretty quickly. Ender disappears off somewhere to curl up. Calpha, make me a perception check.
I can do that. So yeah, so as a warforged, I don't need to sleep, Carl.
I know.
I don't need to sleep. I get 6 hours standing on my feet.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to
Are
find.
you aware of the world around you when you do?
I am otherwise conscious. I can't move, but I'm otherwise conscious, Matthew.
Ah, okay, cool, good. All right.
They are the ultimate PC guard dogs because they don't have to sleep. They can just sort of be there and keep watch.
I've got to remember. Well, I've got to right, so yeah, everything is a little bit worse. Well, a lot worse than what I would do. That would have been like a 26 or something, but it's not. 14.
Okay. So, Kalpha, you notice an absence of anything, kind of. There are very few people. In fact, there are no people walking around the Devilish Archive. It's almost as if people are just like, nope. They're going out of their way to avoid the place.
Mm-hmm.
Which is strange because you've heard a few stories of, you know, people down in Tier 7. They keep in touch with Rembrandt and that, and they've heard that the business was booming.
People quite enjoy this establishment.
They do, very much. And yet, no one's checking it out. No one is even... I mean, it's shut, but still, no one is even...
No one's knocking, no one's nothing.
No one's nothing. But no, you also don't... you don't hear any mysterious, like, figures approaching or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So... It's, yeah, very, very quiet. About 3 hours in, you hear someone unlock the door, the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Does not set off any of the traps.
Mm-hmm.
It is a dwarf with an eye patch screwed in, a few false fingers, and he looks up at you. Good Lord. Now, I would have remembered putting you in here.
My name is Calthor. State your purpose.
Good Lord. My name's Brock Ironhide. I'm the quartermaster.
You make spectacles.
I've made spectacles. And he takes a little case out of his pocket and opens them. There are a pair of spectacles inside.
What else have you made?
Well, I've made a little vial of a pep-up. And he holds up a vial.
Very well. Graccus Fairbreaker is sleeping at the moment.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Beep.
Beep.
Should I just leave them on the bar?
Would you like to stay? Would you like to see him?
I think I'll let him sleep. He's had a tough time of late.
Very well. I will say you have called.
I appreciate it. This may be a rude question. I'm a bit of a tinkerer. I wonder, could I have a look at, before I go, could I have a look at some of your joints and some of your,
As you wish.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
I get down. I kneel.
Mm-hmm.
Still about 5 feet taller than him, though.
Not bad. He spends a good hour and a half kind of looking with a adjustable magnifying glass at your sort of knee joints and your fingers and like it's kind of your eyes and things.
I'll
like
explain what's happened to me in this thing as he asks questions. I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
Talking about why I'm an oathbreaker. That was a bit of a salacious question to ask, but if he wants to ask about what I am, don't.
Yeah, we'll say he does ask those things, and you tell him.
Mm-hmm.
We'll save that conversation for another time, I think. But he eventually bids you farewell and sets off on his way. Graccus, early morning, you sort of kind of wake up, and you find Ender just sort of crouching over you, eyes glowing a little bit in the low light. Wakey.
Ender, as much as a friend as you are, polite notice, maybe don't stare at me while I'm sleeping, please. It's very uncomforting.
I've not been doing it for very long. And I have to keep my edge sharp.
Fine.
For someone who lived on the street, you're a rather heavy sleeper.
It's probably the first time in a while I've been able to sleep that heavy.
Well, I think it's high time we set off. Calthor tells me Mr. Ironide popped by.
Yeah, he would have done. He tends to come in the middle of the night, sort of low light and things like that.
Mr. Fairbreaker,
Yes.
Before we leave, I hope you understand the implications of this war you want to start. It will be a very messy, very bloody business, and the blood will not flow one way.
I'm aware. That's why I'm asking for help, not demanding.
And you also realize that if Mr. Valentine has truly turned his coat,
If that's what happens, I'll deal with it.
make a persuasion check.
Oh, this is not great. That's a flat 11.
Are you really prepared?
There's a degree of hesitation, but ultimately, if it did come to that, Graccus would.
Graccus is just a bit headstrong, really, isn't he?
Yeah, ultimately...
really, he's kind of dug himself into this. He's ready to go.
That's basically it. At this point, I've been prepared for this to go to war since they turned up outside Brock's.
Yeah.
Cassius just turning around and agreeing to work them threw him off guard. But it's been a week and he's not heard hide nor hair from him. So as far as I'm concerned, right now he is working for my enemy. I don't necessarily consider Cass an enemy yet because he's not. There's been no direct attempts on me either that would be indicating that he's helping them. But if he stood between me and them, he would cut him down. Because ultimately, the one thing that Graccus is doing right now is taking them down.
Mm-hmm. All of it as well? The wider implications outside of him?
It weighs heavy.
People hurt is what Ender is saying.
It's going to weigh heavy on him, but yeah. Because again, ultimately, I think I'll just be in character to Ender, actually. I think it might have a bit more impact. I'm aware of the implications, Ender. I'm fully aware that people are going to die. And it won't just be people who work for Delano that die. But they've got away with too much for too long. I had a hand in that. More than a hand in that.
I know. Just make sure you're not doing it just for you. And he sweeps from the room.
Not just for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, bodies of water, we will finish part 1 there.
Goodness.
All right.
Thanks.
Part 1 of Loading the Dice.
Oh, good name. Good name. Oh.
So, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, follow me on Minds at Matt Waterhouse Author, and be good people.
Be good. Don't get. We're almost out of this. Be good. Have fun. See you later.